boy suddenly slipped and fell. He fell into the pool, which was nearly 10 meters deep. Jesse quickly lost consciousness and sank to the bottom of the water. Keiko, an orca that had been hungry for 3 days, found the boy. Keiko opened his mouth and bit Jesse's body, but who would have thought that Keiko did not swallow Jesse? Instead, Keiko brought Jesse to the surface. Then Keiko slowly pushed Jesse with his mouth, gently pushing him back to the shore. When Jesse woke up, he found that the fierce orca had saved him. Jesse was so shocked that he couldn't speak. Jesse wanted to repay Keiko for saving his life. Jesse runs to the fish store to help out in exchange for a pack of delicious small fish, because Jesse wanted to treat Keiko to a meal. But strangely enough, Keiko didn't eat the fish. Instead, Keiko took the fish back to Jesse. Jesse thought Keiko didn't know how to eat the fish, so Jesse picked up the fish, imitated eating it, and gave Keiko a demonstration. But Keiko shook his head, and then Keiko opened its big mouth. Although Jesse was scared, he threw the fish into Keiko's mouth. Keiko happily spurted out a jet of water. Jesse saw that there was no one around and he suddenly became bold. Jesse reached out his little hand to touch Keiko. The result was an incredible scene, never letting anyone near Keiko. This time, Keiko not only approached the boy Jesse of her own accord, Keiko's face also showed an expression of enjoyment. When Jesse got up to leave, Keiko didn't want to let Jesse go. Keiko kept following Jesse, and Keiko flashed his white belly. Keiko also waved its fins to say goodbye to Jesse. Jesse couldn't believe it, so he hurriedly switched to his right hand to try. Jesse didn't expect Keiko to understand right away. Turning around, Keiko did the same thing. This scene was amazing. Jesse reached out his hand and spun in place, and Keiko rolled in the water. Jesse stuck out his tongue and made a face. Keiko imitated it too. Jesse opened his mouth wide and burst out laughing. At night, Jesse couldn't sleep at home. All he could think about was Keiko's face. The next day, he went to the oceanarium to see Keiko's performance, but Keiko didn't show up. After Jesse waited for a long time for the show, it turns out that since Keiko is fierce by nature, no one can tame it, so Keiko couldn't perform, and Jesse had to leave disappointed. But when Jesse was about to go home, he suddenly heard Keiko scream. Jesse rushed back to the oceanarium and he saw an angry scene. This orca wouldn't perform for the visitors. People are ready to serve it to the dinner table. Keiko, the orca, screamed in pain as she struggled desperately to get out of the net. Jesse saw the desperation in Keiko's eyes and Jesse decided to save Keiko. Jesse secretly cut the rope of the fishing net. When the master was not paying attention, Keiko took the opportunity to dive under the water and escape temporarily. But Randolph found Jesse.
Saw what you did. I'm sure Willy's grateful.
In order to save Keiko's life, Jesse suddenly thought of a way. Jesse thinks that if he can't get Keiko to perform, Keiko could change her fate of being eaten. So Jesse found a trainer and he started to learn how to train Keiko with his hands. As long as Keiko performed well, Jesse would give Keiko a fish as a reward. The unbelievable thing happened. Keiko did very well in front of Jesse. In just 2 days, they worked very well together. When Jesse waved his hand, Keiko jumped out of the water. When Jesse gives a command, Keiko does it brilliantly. Keiko does not show any cruel behavior. So Keiko will have his first performance. If Keiko can't finish this performance, not only will he not be eaten, Keiko will also have a bigger pool. But if there are no surprises, there will be soon, because the kids kept banging on the glass so much that Keiko was terrified. Keiko comes to Jesse's side and opens her mouth to wail for help. Jesse rushed to comfort Keiko, and Jesse told Keiko not to ruin the show. But Keiko shook its head. It said it didn't want to perform anymore. Keiko dived under the water, but the loud sound of the kids banging on the glass soon frightened Keiko. Keiko started banging hard on the glass, causing the kids to run away screaming. The show was ruined and Randolph was furious. Jesse was also very disappointed with Keiko. Jesse doesn't want to meddle anymore. Jesse says goodbye to Keiko, turns around and leaves. Keiko let out a sad cry, but the next moment, the other orca outside actually responded. It was only then that Jesse realized that the orca outside was Keiko's family. Sparks suddenly emerged from the pool, and Jesse rushed over to check it out. But what Jesse saw was a shocking sight. This killer whale, because he messed up the show. Randolph then sent someone to wreak havoc by draining the pool. Randolph intended to kill Keiko, the orca, alive with thirst. The boy, Jesse, didn't stand idly by. He quickly called the maintenance crew, but it was too late. The ruptured hull was beyond repair. To save Keiko, Jesse offered to send him back to the sea. With the help of the maintenance crew, they got a crane, Then they put the fishing net into the pool, but Keiko refused to go in because it was something that would make him lose his freedom. Finally, Jesse jumped into the water to help Keiko. Jesse helped Keiko get into the fishing net. Then they transported it to the sea by truck. But halfway there, trees blocked the way. The repairman had to choose a detour, but Keiko's body gradually dried up due to the long dehydration. Jesse kept stroking Keiko. Jesse wanted Keiko to persevere. Finally, the car came to the beach, but Jesse did not respond. Just then, Randolph suddenly came with his pursuers. Both sides immediately engaged in a fierce struggle. Gradually, Keiko woke up. Keiko desperately twisted her body and slowly swam towards the sea. But Randolph didn't give up. He found a fishing boat. Randolph laid a fishing net in the sea mouth in advance, causing Keiko to be trapped in it once again. Freedom is not far away. Keiko desperately tried to break through the fishing net, but it could not do so. Keiko could only hover in place. Jesse saw this scene and he rushed up to the dam. Jesse yelled and screamed, hoping Keiko would come to him. Keiko got rid of the fishing net and Keiko swam towards Jesse. Then Jesse cried and said goodbye to Keiko, because this separation could be forever for them. Jesse held back his grief and he ran all the way to the dam. Jesse shouted for Keiko to believe in him. Then Jesse waved his hand and Keiko started sprinting. Then Keiko jumped. A scene that shocked Randolph. At the end of the movie, Keiko manages to get back into the sea. Keiko jumped out of the water and thanked Jesse in this way.